I'm about to show you why you don't need Etsy SEO or the right keywords, all of those things to be able to get more sales on Etsy. And, they do help, but you've probably been listening to the wrong thing for so long. All right, so um, listen, it took me years to learn this, and as you can see, here's one of my shops just for proof. $700,000 in sales in this one shop. I don't think I need to pull up more shops to show you guys more proof. The thing about what I've done is also helpful for other students as well. So I know it works multiple times over. We've scaled on multiple shops. Helped David do it. He did $2,500 his first month. Nadia in 90 days, she started seeing her first $1,000 days. And even if you're doing a few $1,000s per month already, I helped one of my students go from $5,000 a month all the way up to $92,000 a month. And if you think that's just some kind of outlier month, as you can see, over $1 million within just this previous year. So I'm going to break down everything so that you really get a better understanding of how to implement these strategies so that you can make sure your Etsy shop grows. It took me years to learn this, and obviously I'm able to, help other people do this. And we've been able to do this multiple times over, and it works. And if you want to work directly with me, I'll post my link down below. You can go ahead and click that if you want to go ahead and work with me if you would like. But let's go ahead and break this down. The first thing that you really need to know is how a marketplace works. So this right here is where the SEO and where the keywords do work. But the problem is you learn this first, and it's gonna feel like it was a waste of actual time. For example, you probably were taught how to type in a funny t-shirt. You probably learned short tail keywords. You probably learned long tail keywords. You probably learned how to get into a specific niche that's not as competitive. Not many people are using these keywords. You probably learn how to get a high listing score from some of these apps, right? Which honestly is cool and all. But the problem is you probably have your own product design. You probably created a product, and you're so attached to it. You want to get this out into the people who are looking for these keywords. The problem is that gets your listing views with no conversions because you don't have a proven product. That's the biggest issue. Your design, your product is probably not proven. So you have to understand how Etsy works. It is a marketplace. It is a search-based platform. You don't need to be running Facebook ads. You don't need to do additional social media marketing. You don't need to do any of these additional things at all because customers are already coming in here, typing in what they want, but they need to be able to find what they want or something similar to that design style that they already liked. So that's why it is important to have a proven winning product, winning design that's gonna go into the customer's face. But that's not the big secret. I'm gonna show you the big secret in number 3, which lots of new sellers skip out on, and it's something that is very important that you get down right, because the importance is, yes, they can land to your product, but right here, even if you don't have the winning product or the winning design, then you are a loss because instead of you having something that actually worked for those keywords, it's some kind of design that you came up with yourself and you're so emotionally attached to it and you feel like you have a proven winner based off of not data, but based off of your own ideation, then you are already lost. So the big thing right now is we make sure we have that winning product design. But I'm already going to show you most of these products have the next step down. So that's the biggest thing though, understanding how a marketplace works, right? You have to know that it is a search-based platform where customers are coming on here and looking for the actual product. Number 2, you have to have a scalable product. There's no way you're going to get $10,000, $20,000 in a month if you don't have a product that you can create multiple times over. This necessarily doesn't work with, I know Etsy used to be considered a handmade marketplace, but you can't create a vintage style dresser, like something that you refurbish multiple times over easily. You can't sell that 100 times in a day, so that's not ultimately something scalable. Maybe you're on the vintage side, maybe you found some vintage jewelry. For example, you probably sold something like vintage earrings that you may have found, but it's not scalable because you can't sell it 100 times over. So you have to have something that is scalable. That's why most of the time print on demand works. And the thing is, lots of people look at t-shirts, but there's hundreds of other products as well. There's sweatshirts, mugs, tumblers, and so forth. But you have to have something that when a customer purchases it, it has to be able to be made 100 times over very, very easily. Reason being is because the more sales you get on the actual platform, the more you'll be able to get ranked. And two, getting more organic sales. So for example, today I'm a serious goose. This person got a sale on it. That right there is a indicator, a sales performance indicator to Etsy, like, hey, you know what? Someone's purchasing this. Let's see if other customers like it. It goes into the algorithm and saying, let's see if we can push this in front of other customers who search for the same keywords and see if they also buy it. If you get another sale, you might get boosted a little more organically because it's a win-win situation. You're getting a sale, Etsy's making some money, everyone's happy, the customer's getting their actual product. But you have to be able to sell more than once because you have to have a product that is scalable, because that's how you're going to be able to rank your actual product. So if you had a vintage earring, it sold once, now the listing's over with, you can't get more ranking onto the actual product. So you have to have a product that is scalable. Most of the time, this is a print-on-demand product. There are products that you probably create in-house, maybe that you monogram a particular product or anything of that nature, and it could be scalable. So think about that as well. All right. So big secret number 3 is your listing build out. Lots of people, lots of my colleagues, they call it listing templates. Same thing, listing build out. For example, now you hop into the actual marketplace, they search for your actual product. You got a view, you got a click maybe, but you didn't get an actual sale. You didn't get the conversion, which is that ranking metric that you need to be able to get higher ranking. Now, the problem with that is they found your product, you use keywords, you use SEO, but you're unable to get an actual sale because you did not have a good listing. This is why SEO and keywords is the easiest thing that you can possibly do. Yeah, it's important, but it's not as important as getting the sale, because the SEO and keywords is not going to get you the sale. It's going to help your product get found, but if you have the wrong product to begin with, then it's useless. So this is what a listing template build out consists of. It's you still convincing the customer that this is the product. You're on my page right now. You're on my product page. This is the product that you need to purchase. You're still convincing the customer. Just because you had the right design for them doesn't mean you have everything else down right. So you also still have to think about the actual mock-up itself. How well are you convincing the customer to still shop with you? You have to be able to answer every single question a customer may have before they even ask you the question. Because if they have a split second where, they don't have the color that I want. I can't figure out what size it is, how it's going to fit me. If they can't figure that out, they're not about to send you a message. They're going to go back and land on someone else's page who has the answers for them. So you're still convincing the customer to shop with you. And this is a decent product template. You got the specs and sizings, but there's other things that you also want as well. You still need to convince them that you have guarantees. If they're not happy with the product, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure the customer is happy with their product. Customers aren't out here trying to scam you, man. They're not trying to say, I didn't get the right product. They want to make sure they get the product. They want to feel secure. They want to trust you. Trust is a huge, huge factor when it comes to selling online. Shipping times, happiness guarantee, as you can see right here. This is awesome as well. This has a total branding look to it. Same color scheme going throughout the entire listing build out. You're selling the customer still. Product benefits going on right here. So you have to think about this whenever you create your actual design. Just having a design, that original mock-up that was given to you, that basic one, it's not going to cut it. You have to think about yourself, putting yourself into the customer's shoes. If you're a new seller and you don't have any guarantees and you don't feel like you trust that seller, if you're a buyer, if you don't trust that seller, you think you're going to shop with yourself, So really think about that. You don't have to have tons of reviews in the very beginning, You just have to make the customer feel comfortable. Think about the pricing that you got going on. Just make sure you answer questions anytime a customer asks. Eventually, you have data that comes in. You're able to see the questions that customers are always asking if they do decide to take that leap with you. Bundle that up. Turn that into a whole entire image. And now you're starting to have yourself an entire listing built out. For example, some people have the colors on here. You know why? Because some people don't have the colors. and they would screenshot and send it to the seller and say, hey, what color is this right here? I can't figure it out. I don't know if it's brown. I don't know if it's khaki. And then all of a sudden, they knew that customers were asking this question too many times. So they started to put it on the photos. And now they're like, oh, I like this color. This color is espresso. I'm going to go purchase the espresso, because now they don't have to ask you a question. You have to make it really simple, really easy for the customer to purchase your product. Think about the customer's journey. How many rocks do they have to hurdle over? How many times do they have to trip and, really think too much whenever they check out? You don't want the customer to think. You just want to answer the questions. Oh, espresso. Oh, ivory, I like that. How's it fit? Oh, that's exactly how it fits. Oh man, this is printed in the USA. I love it. Man, I'm already sold, because you're still selling the customer along the listing template, your listing build out. This is you being a salesperson, selling the customer. This is the customer's journey from going to finding the actual product to making that dollar, them spending that dollar and putting it into your pocket. All right. So number 4, confidence is earned. A lot of people come into this game thinking they know exactly what they need to do. They think they know exactly what they need to do. You have so much confidence. You've been a graphic designer your whole life. And then all of a sudden, you're putting designs up. It's not even working. I got into Etsy about 10 years ago. Built out multiple 7-figure shops. Worked with multiple partners. Worked with multiple students. We've done multiple results. But the thing is, my first time on Etsy, I have about 20 years of design skills. When I got started, I had 10-year design skills. I listed products. My first product was a decal design. It didn't sell until like about a week later. It sold one time. And over the next course of about the next month or two, I sold probably about 2 more. I gave up. And then I hopped back onto it, a few months later, I posted a back to school shirt. It sold one time. I'm like, something must work with this design. And now I created another class of 2000 whatever design, back to school design. Oh man, this one works as well. Oh man, let me fix up. Oh, they have so many questions. Let me add that to my listing template. Oh, I feel a little bit more confident. Confidence is earned. Eventually, you come to the point where like you feel like you know what you're doing, and then you start to double down, triple down. That's how you really scale. Some of you feel way too confident on your own designs already, and then whenever you start listing, creating these listing templates, creating these designs, you list too much, too fast, and now you're bummed out, you're burnt out, you don't even believe in yourself anymore. Confidence is earned. You have to let the data tell you what to do. You have to let the data tell you when to go hard. Because sometimes we go too hard on our own and we get burnt out. And honestly, that's all you really need to know to really get the real foundation to be able to scale. Start over, start fresh, and don't become too emotionally attached to this, and I bet you'll grow in a different way. But, with all that being said, once again, we've helped multiple students hit $2,000-$3,000 in their first 30 days, going from their first 90 days to doing $1,000 days and so forth. Even if you're already an established seller and you probably need some help, you need help getting into more confidence. You're probably doing $4,000 or $5,000 a month already, maybe even doing $10,000 a month. You need systems in place. That's what we do. $1 million in a year. Go ahead and click the link down below, and I'll see you on the inside.